All right, good morning, everyone. We're having a little internet trouble this morning, so sorry about being a little late, but we'll go ahead and get started. If you'll please rise for a prayer followed by the pledge.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day you've given us, and Lord, for the blessed lives that we have, living where we live. Lord, just this morning we want to remember our nation, our state, our county. Lord, we just pray for unity. We pray, Lord, that you would bless our nation in difficult times. Lord, we pray that you would send rain and in abundance, and all of our springs might be replenished, and the creeks and the ponds. Lord, we'll give you the glory for that. We just ask for your wisdom and knowledge this day to carry out business in the best manner possible. Lord, in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to God, the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, it's going to be 9:07. We'll call the meeting to order. We have a full court this morning. Thanks everybody for being here. Departmental reports. We're going to item 3. County agents provided one last month to us. Aging Center did provide a report for their September on what they did over at the Nutrition Center, the Aging Center. You have that report in front of you. Served 562 meals in-house and delivered 868 meals last month. County Attorney, traffic's holding him up. Auditor report, anything from the auditor? Clerk, the clerk provided a report there for us this morning on some beginning balances and deposits and payouts. Community Center, nothing to report there. He had a couple weeks ago, had no problems from as far as I know, from what I understand. And then early voting will start later next week. It'll all be held at the Community Center. And then November 4th, the day of the election, will be held. All precincts will be held at the Community Center as well. So the clerk worked on getting that approved by the state. Our population a little bigger than we are and everything else. So everything will be held at the Community Center, and everything on the ballot for this election is all constitutional amendments, 17 amendments. Constable, Yearwood, nothing. Thank you. Detention Center, no one. EMC, EMS, Nick.
We have our monthly report for the month of September. Ran a total of 38 calls. Out of those 38 calls, none were border related. 3 of those were second calls. We had 16 non-transports. We transported 21, 10 of them to Uvalde, 10 of them to Val Verde, and we flew 1 patient. So about average the last couple of months for call wise. I do have some good news. I talked with Carla late last week. We were approved for a second Life Pack 35 through OLS. So we're good to go with that. I submitted the PO this morning for her approval. As soon as I get that back, I will place the order for it. It's about a 4-week turnaround time from the time we place the order to the time we'll have it in hand, and then it will take a little bit of setup. So probably another week or 2 after that until it's on the chart. Sure. So any questions for me? All right. Thank you all.
Grant updates.
Yeah, good morning, Judge.
Morning.
Commissioner, the Garden grant last month, the amount that we applied for and received payment was $35,373.31. And we are halfway through that grant for the year. That ends the 28th of February. The school resource officer, that grant was filed for $2,864.71. That's for the month of August. Operation Lone Star, the amount filed for was $422,330.54, and that payment was received this morning. I saw a notice of the receipt this morning.
Okay, so all right, so
Security program.
hold on, Ms. Westbrook on operation.
Yes,
Ms. Westbrook on Operation Lone Star. You have on here the FSR for August was 164,802.62, but you received.
wait a second. I see the correction to that.
Okay.
That was from the month before, so maybe the correction didn't get put in your packet, but the correct amount is $422,330.54. The 164 was for the month of July. So there might have been a cross for the.
I got you. I got it. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, that payment was received this morning. And the local border security grant, we canceled the order for that vehicle. They were supposed to have the vehicle, the tender supply was supposed to have the vehicle in May, June, spring. It gave them 2 months, at least 2 months to get the pursuit package added into it. It was delayed until July, then it was delayed again until August. And when I checked on it the week before last, they could not even produce or even get the vehicle from the supplier for at least another 2 to 3 months. The grant ended the end of September, so it would go past the liquidation date. So we have canceled the order for that vehicle.
Okay.
That was one that the grant was $43,025, and the county was making up the difference at approximately $36,000.
Okay.
So that money will not be used in your budget for the year. Operation Joe Garden, the new award, all the grants that we have other than the LEXA grant, Law Enforcement Terrorism Protection Grant, the new School Resource Officer Grant, and the new OLS grant have both been awarded, accepted, and that's the one that Nick was saying that we do have a new life pack that was approved in there.
Okay.
So I let him know. And for everybody, if you will keep in mind the current grant, OLS grant is $808,000 less than what we had last year. But we did not use all of what we had available last year. We haven't. I don't think the whole time we've had the grant. So some of that money has not been used.
Okay.
The grant opening will be starting in December for the next year to start applying for it.
Okay.
And I believe that is all I have for the grant.
All right.
Any questions?
Any questions? No, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Indigent healthcare, you have that update from in front of you this morning, the attachment for September. You have the monthly report for September for the judge's office. The money that was taken in, the community center contracts and certificate of compliance, and sewer permits for required by TCQ. Just to the P, Judge Wheeler Ellis attached her office for the month. Library this morning. Road and Bridge has their monthly report attached for you to review. Sheriff.
Good morning. Happy Columbus Day. Thank you, speak. We have 56 in jail today, 51 of which are OLS inmates. I don't know what our bill was last month. It was close to $90,000 for all this. I got to get with Carl and see, make sure there's enough money to cover the OLS portion. We're going to have to move, excuse me, we're going to have to move a couple of prisoners. They're creating havoc over in Medina County, so we got to take these and separate them. I'll put one in Goliad, maybe one up in Carroll. I think they're feeding off each other.
There's just horrible in here, or that, my, really bad today.
She says the microphone's bad. We're having an internet issue this morning.
Issues today. See what else we got? I don't know if I got it to you or not, but we had the fire marshal inspection. He came up with a list of things that need to be repaired. So we need to get on that as quick as possible. Got some training coming up. We're do some firearms training. Not this week, but next week. If any of y'all want to attend, I'm more than happy to take you out there and let you shoot up some ammo. Other than that, go paradise.
All right. Thanks, Sheriff. County Treasurer. Tax Assessor. All right, that'll take care of the monthly reports. We'll get into items on number 4, deliberate and consider action on the following items. Item A, discuss, approve, disapprove interlocal agreement with Val Verde County regarding housing and transportation of Operation Lone Star inmates. This is an interlocal agreement that we're going to enter with. Val Verde Sheriff's Office is kind of becoming what was our processing center and stuff, so forth, that the state had operate over there. And the Val Verde County Sheriff's Office is taking on that responsibility kind of now, since they've closed the processing tent down, as far as taking inmates in or warrants or arrests and stuff that are OLS related, taking those in, magistrating them, and then arranging for transportation and stuff. So we have an MOU this morning. I mean, an interlocal agreement, not an MOU, but an interlocal agreement to approve with the Val Verde County Sheriff's Office this morning. Sheriff, do you need to elaborate on this any or anything? On the interlocal agreement, interlocal.
Looks good. We sent out to 14 counties that are participating in it. Us, Maverick, Uvalde, et cetera, pretty much kind of generic. It is what it is. Yeah.
Entertain a motion to approve the interlocal agreement. This agreement is presented with Val Verde County. So moved by Commissioner Farrick, second by Commissioner Montalvo. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried unanimously. Item B this morning is discuss and approve memorandum of understanding of emergency shelter and evacuation assistance between Kinney County Sheriff's Office and Brackett Independent School District. This was presented a couple months ago and then revised a little bit, but it's just coordinating shelter, the districts between the school district and the county and using shelter and so forth like that.
Use of buses too.
Using the buses if we have a evacuation situation, they could provide buses and drivers and so forth for us if it's not necessarily school related again. So. One question on here that the attorneys highlighted is the county shall provide insurance coverage for the use and operation of the district's buses sufficient to cover the increased exposure of the county under Texas Tort Claims Act only when such vehicles are under the county's sole care, custody, and control. That'll have to be come and go as we need it. We'll have to look into that. Facility and uses during emergency, the county and district shall mutually agree upon shelter locations to which people in need of evacuation assistance may be placed during the evacuation. All persons receiving evacuation assistance shall be transported to a shelter specified by the county. Other than that, it's not a whole lot of, it's a lot of words and stuff. And it's effective for the term of this is effective for 1 year from the date it shall automatically renew unless either party gives 60 days prior written notice. The MOU is terminated with or without cause upon that 60 days prior to written notice. Payment for current funds, the county and the district agree that each will pay for all expenses associated with this MOU for which it is responsible from when the current revenue is available for each entity. Any further questions about, I mean, it's, y'all had it there.
Does it already been approved by the school?
Yes, the school has signed it, approved it. They approved it on September the 11th. So moved by Commissioner Dotson, second by Commissioner Ward down there. You're a little late to Mr. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried unanimously. That'll take care of 4B. We just need to chase the engine, check in the insurance on that one. Discuss and approve to amend the Kinney County 25-26 budget to reflect funding from court order for Auditor's Office dated September 29th, 2025. All right. As you know, Judge Andrade set the budget and the salary for the Auditor's Office. The auditor took a 5% pay raise. Everybody else in the county took a 3% pay raise. Her assistant auditors took a 3% pay raise. And then he ordered a part-time assistant auditor for legal at $25,000. And this was all given to us after we approved our budget. So we need to cut our budget, amend our budget that we've approved to compensate. Oh, we need probably about, best we kind of configured is we need right around the $30,000 mark to make up for the 2% pay raise for the auditor we didn't consider in the new position that came with the new court order.
Judge, there's some issues that I'd like to discuss with you on the executive session. Perhaps we can, this is an action item coming out of that.
We'll move C to executive session for the attorney. Not a problem. D then this morning is discuss and approve announcing October 30th as Weatherization Day in Kinney County and sign a proclamation. The proclamation is from the Community Action Partnership and Community Council of South Central Texas. The proclamation, whereas the Community Council of South Texas was established as a community action agency May 11th, 1965. And whereas the Weatherization Service area encompasses the South Central and West Texas counties of Brewster, Dimmitt, Crane, Culberson, Edwards, Hudspeth, Jeff Davis, Kinney, LaSalle, Maverick, Pecos, Presidio, Real, Terrell, Uvalde, Val Verde, and Zavala. And whereas King County has long recognized the plight of low-income families and individuals in meeting their home energy needs, and whereas low-income households spend a disproportionate percentage of their annual incomes on home energy bills, whereas the United States Department of Energy developed the Weatherization Assistance Program in 1976 as a federal government's cost-effective permanent solution for reducing the heavy energy burden on low-income Americans. And whereas this program not only saves energy through advanced technologies to improve the energy affordability for low-income families, but also saves lives and improves the health and safety of families by identifying carbon monoxide hazards, poor indoor air quality, mold, and other health threats. And whereas the Weatherization Assistance Program keeps jobs and dollars in local communities by operating through a network of well-trained program providers serving 17 counties in the CCSCT service area. Now, for be it resolved, I, John Paul Schuster, County Judge, do hereby proclaim October 30th, 2025 as Weatherization Day in Kinney County and encourage state and local weatherization professionals to develop cost-effective advanced technologies to increase energy savings in each home served, to leverage state, local, and private resources to make each federal dollar work harder, and to heighten the awareness of energy efficiency in communities throughout the state of Texas. The witness thereof, I hear and do set my hand and cause the great seal of the Kinney County to be affixed. And entertain a motion to approve this proclamation. So moved by Commissioner Ward. Second by Commissioner Farragut. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item E this morning. Discuss and approve, submit fiscal year 2026 Texas Indigent Defense Commissioner form the grant application and approve resolution for the Indigent Defense Grant Program. This is an annual deal we do. It's just helps gets us a little bit of grant money through Indigent Defense Council for our defendants here that come to court for criminal activity in the county. I can read it if you want me to, but it's an annual event for us. So you want me to read it? You good? All right. Yeah. So moved by Commissioner Montalvo. Second by Commissioner Ward. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried unanimously. All right. Item F, discussion approved road use agreement. We talked about this before. Y'all authorized me to work on that with Briscoe and everything and sign it. It's bouncing back and forth right now. They did do some repair to the road. They did do some blade work and stuff on it. I've asked them to start watering the road a little bit because the dust is just so bad and so forth. I don't know if they've done that, but they do a little bit of watering on it. I said just a couple times a day would really help for all those landowners that go up and down it. Just not, but for the safety of those employees as well that are working on the crush station. So item F this morning, I'll just table it. Entertain a motion to table it. So moved by Commissioner Montalvo, second by Commissioner Dotson. We are working on it, but we'll get it knocked out. My concern is if like culvert damage, we'll see fairly quickly. But the concrete low water crossing that they're going over and everything, when they bring in their those two big heavy compressor stations and stuff, the weight of those, I'm worried about like a year or two from now, when we finally do have a flood and that's cracked or damaged or something, and it gets undermined and washes out and breaks, lose part of it, breaks a wing off of it or something like that. So, we went back and asked for like a $250,000 bond that would be good for 3 years after they restore the road back to conditions it was in better. Then, but that bond would be available for us up to 3 years to help with any kind of repairs we have to do. So, but it's going back and forth. I mean, we're working on it. Item G is discuss and approve Otis Elevator Company maintenance and service contract and authorize county judge to sign. As you know, we've been having a little bit of trouble with our elevator. Some folks are scared of the elevator, actually. But details, I'm not. But anyway, they came out and looked at it, and they gave us a repair order and so forth. It's a service they want to enter into a contract. It's for 5 years. The agreement is and stuff, and it's $150 a month. Just a maintenance contract. It's $150 a month and so forth. 5 years, from November the 1st, 5 years going forward, but a monthly fee of $150. This $150 doesn't include anything that's going to require any kind of repair or anything like that. Does not cover any service that requires disassembly that exceeds 2 hours of service time, or requires a team of 2 or more personnel.
It's just basically a retainer.
Yeah, basically.
Have we ever done this before?
I don't believe so. I don't believe so.
But they are the ones that usually come fix it.
No, before he came last time, Dickie. Ameritex came last time.
What they got?
San Antonio.
They not.
No. If a unit's not malfunctioning, it's dangerous condition, you agree to immediately notify us 24 hours. They have a hotline number. Prevent access and use of the elevator. Provide us with current wiring diagrams reflecting all previously made changes to the units. I don't know, like, do we get just a regular annual maintenance of the elevator or whatever? I asked for somebody from Otis to be here this morning. Any of y'all work for Otis Elevators? Any volunteers? Brent, you know anything about it? Huh? Be here closer to 10. Well, let's just roll on then.
What's the name of chemical we usually use?
Ameritex. So we'll roll on then. They'll be here later. All right. And I think we did tell them that now that Becky mentions that. Sorry about that. All right. Item H is the same. We'll move it. Item I is discuss and review and possible action identifying non-full-time salary paid positions. Becky, did I get anything on that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Go get Diane. The auditor and the treasurer have the treasurers came and spoke to me about us identifying and using the time clock. Everybody's gonna have to clock in on the time clock. And I was like, well, but they're just a salary position. That's their salary. They're not gonna punch a time clock kind of deal. But they're saying wage and fair Labor Standards Act says that they're gonna have to punch it. So
Unless they're exempted.
unless they're exempt,
FLSA, the Federal Labor State Standards.
they're exempt because they're
Salaried employees.
salary employees, but they're professional. They're like a licensed professional employee or something, like an attorney or
Yeah, they
electrician,
provide some type of professional service.
engineer. They have some kind of licensing.
From my understanding too, they're just not paid hourly. They're paid a salary. So whether they work 8 hours or 80 hours, they're on salary.
Hello.
Morning, Ms. Dan, come on up. Talking about the just identifying our salary positions, like the EMC, IT position director.
Like attorneys.
Grant writers,
Okay, the attorneys would be exempt on that, on FSLA, but not the others. Not the grant people or,
EMC or the IT director.
right,
I just want to identify those so that going forward, we know like in job descriptions or whatever like that, their salaries, but they're still going to be responsible for clocking in.
right.
They're not paid hourly. so
No,
whether they work-
they're still gonna get their salary paid, but they still have to clock in.
Okay. And this is, exemption status, as just talking with Brent a little bit, the exemption status on that would be a salary, but a salary employee who's exempt because they're like a licensed professional.
Or they're making a lot more money than, I think there's like 35, I think, right now. And everybody's making like 32 and down.
But a full-time status employee for us is 32. But we're saying, but that.
No, I mean, money wise.
Okay,
They're not exempt because of the money they're making. Now, his are because they're making close to more than 50,000. But the others are not making, they're not exempt because they're not making, I think it's 35,000 or something like that, and they're not making that amount. So they're not exempt from FL.
yeah, I don't remember reading that.
Yeah, I don't remember the amount paid being, it's more, are they an exempt employee or are they gonna get comp overtime and things of that nature, or? Are they
It
just
depends
straight
it depends on the number of hours they work.
salary? Okay,
But yours are exempt.
right.
Yours are.
Well, I have the policy in the office of.
Right,
That,
right.
to me, that's what does that. is,
Yes. And what I'm waiting for is on yours to put it on the policy, but what we're waiting for is if the grant people are gonna accept for your proposal for the grant.
Okay.
Mhm. But that's what it is on the FSLA. They're not exempt because FSLA is requiring for them to clock in. If they're not making, I believe it's like 35,000, if I'm not mistaken.
So the IT director position would be exempt.
He possibly could be
Okay.
exempt.
Grant writers and EMC are the only other two then positions that we're currently are.
Yes.
Does anybody have any questions about this? They make, these are non-full-time positions. They don't earn vacation time. They don't earn sick leave. They don't get personal days. They don't get, merit pays. I mean, there's like a whole little bucket of things there that they're salary employees. They're not really, like I said, they're not full-time, but some weeks they may be, some weeks they may not be, but I just want to make sure that, so it basically comes down to just the EMC and the grant writer
Right.
is what we're after, or what we're talking about here today.
Correct.
Okay. do we need to, do we need to have a policy then addressing that, like no merits, no vacation, no sick leave, no overtime?
That's
Cetera, or
up to you. I mean, it depends how many hours they work. If they're working 40-hour week, then you've got to give them that. 32, 40, 20, whatever.
we'll just have to, I mean, monitor that and see where it puts us.
Mhm.
Okay,
That's it.
all right. Thank you, ma'am. So the three positions we will be talking about, just identifying them as full-time, non-full-time salary paid positions would be the MC position currently and our 2 grant writers. That would be. All right. And she said 35,000.
I think it's $844 a week.
That's 43,000 times speaking to, they work every week. Does anybody have any questions about this or anything? I mean, I don't know what the action would be. I mean, we just, as, I mean, the EMC, he's, you know, part-time salary right now and understands that. The grant writers, the reason they're on salary and on staff is so they can constantly be working on stuff for us. And we don't have to go out and procure, do requests for proposals from grant writers to work on some grant we want. They're constantly looking and doing things for the community. And that's why they got moved into that position, just their salary employees. And then as they work on a grant, they record their time and turn it into the grant. And then all the admin fees that we receive from the grant writing, we keep in-house. So, but that's what they're saying we're gonna have to do. As I look through this and read through this, I see where like a licensed professional, attorney, engineer, electrician, things like that, those positions are exempt. But that was a criteria that I would get out of it. Tack, y'all have any advice?
There is a test under FLSA that has to be met for somebody to be categorized as an exempt employee. Our recommendation, Judge, will be to ask our HR consultant to explain to you the process
Okay,
of that. Because there is a certain requirements that have to be in place in order for that person to be qualified as an exempt employee. I think you're right on most of the categories, but yeah, there may be some that may not be under the FLSA requirement.
From what I can see, there's really 4 categories. An executive, which is managing people or department. Administrative, which is office or non-manual work tied to management of business operations. Professional requires advanced knowledge or degree, doctors, lawyers, engineers, or outside sales or certain computer-related jobs. That's the duties test that under the FLSA.
okay. We won't take any action on it today, just bring it up for discussion and let you know that's what's come up from the treasurer and the auditor's offices. Identify, we have very few that if they don't pass the exemption qualifications, and we'll look into that and see, but I don't think any of them are gonna have a problem with punching the time clock, but I'm like, Richard gets called at 2 o'clock in the morning because something's going on. I get called too, because we're just, if, that's the direction we're gonna go, then I suggest that we allow them to have remote log. So we'll work on that. Item J this morning is discuss and approve contract agreement between Greenwald Court Reporting and Kinney County for court reporting services for OLS Court, and authorize county judge to sign the agreement. This is our annual agreements that we do with Greenwald Court Reporting, BCC Languages LLC, Teresa Falls, and Maria Falls Enriquez. And this is our interpreters and stuff like that, and court reporters. It's our annual agreements that we sign with them for OLS operations. So just entertain a motion to approve those as presented. That'll be items, we'll group items J, K, and L, and M, all as one motion. Is everybody okay with that? Greenwald Court Reporting Services, payment is $600 a day. BCC Languages is as needed also. That's an interpreter. Ms. Falls is $125 an hour, licensed court interpreter, 2-hour minimum. And Falls Enriquez, it's the same thing, interpretation, $125 an hour. So, but I'll entertain a motion now. The motion will be for J, K, L, and M, all of those in one motion. So moved by Commissioner Montalvo, second by Commissioner Ferret. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye, motion carried unanimously. Becky, I'll sign those in a minute. Just need to get those, I'll sign those in a minute. That'll move us to end this morning. Discuss and possible action, 2025 passive network assessment contract with Antonio Rusi, an independent cybersecurity consultant who has partnered with TAC Risk Management Pool and authorized county judge to sign contract. That'll be moved to executive session because it's going to be talking about our network structure and so forth like that. We'll come out executive session, take action on the end. This morning is discuss and approve waiver for notice for termination of contractual obligations between Kinney County and Financial Intelligence. The county, Ms. O'Keefe and Ms. Gutierrez had, the treasurer and the auditor had previously agreed to use Financial Intelligence going forward as our new software data, software for our financial, for our bill pay and all that stuff. And I received a letter on September 25th from the president of Financial Intelligence, Mr. Baird, Robert Baird, asking to be removed to terminate the contract and sign a waiver, asking to waive the 90 days. In his letter, he put that the agreement was to license software beginning 10/1 of 2024 through 9/30 of 25. Included 4 concurrent user licenses to be shared in the county auditor and treasurer for a monthly license cost of $2,300. The on-site installation and training were to begin in October 2024. The trainers were lined up, airfare and hotel and lodging and rental. Car rental was all prepared. And county treasurer and previous auditors to update and remap. This was postponed. Their travel was postponed. They did do work on the remapping, and they charged us $5,000 to work on remapping, and that's taking stuff from the old software program and moving it over and setting up the accounts in the new, the referred to it as mapping. And September 7th, 24, he received an email from Val Verde County Auditor Matthew Weingart, informed him that the previous auditor had retired and that Val Verde County and Kinney County shared district judge, and he'd been asked to assist in the process of recruiting a new county auditor For Kinney County, Mr. Weingart explained that Kinney County was waiting on the results of an independent forensic audit. And Mr. Baird said, I explained to Mr. Weingart that my staff was 3 weeks away from heading to the county to begin on-site software installation. He and I agreed to probably delay the software installation till the new county auditor had been located and the forensic audit had been delivered to the county and the commissioner's court, and the new county auditor had time to digest it and go through the forensic audit recommendations, and the new county auditor had time to learn Kinney County processes in operation. I explained to Mr. Weingart that if such a delay was approved by Kinney County, FI would move forward with other county software installations. And we were contractually committed that once Kinney County was ready to re-engage with FI, we'd do our best work to get them back into the schedule. On September 10th, Mr. Weingart sent me an email indicating that both you and the county attorney, that would be me and Mr. Smith, had agreed to delay the October 24th software installation. And he goes on to say, Judge, it's important to note that as of this writing and under the terms of the conditions of our agreement, no money has been paid by Kinney County to Financial Intelligence. Software license payments were only to begin once we arrived in Bracketville to begin on-site installation and training phase. Because of the aforementioned delay, we never reached that point, and therefore we have not invoiced the county to use the use of our software. On a side note, since last October, we have conducted a virtual software presentation for the newly appointed auditor, Mrs. Weingart, and we have reviewed an aforementioned chart of account refresh mapping changes completed prior to the previous county auditor leaving her position. Ms. Weingart has requested that additional changes be made to the Kinney County chart of accounts formats. However, FI is unwilling to make these changes because they would not be in alignment with the chart of account formats used by the other 45 Texas counties we serve by FI. Making the suggested changes to make Kinney County a one-off software customer, which does not subscribe to our business model. Judge Schuster, since these events described above events, there have been significant developments in Kinney County, most notably, and without assigning blame, reports paint a picture of what I would describe a toxic environment, and environmental financial intelligence does not wish to be a part of. Simply stated, financial intelligence no longer wants to be associated with Kinney County under the current circumstances. Therefore, in accordance with Section 4.01 terms in Exhibit 2 term agreement, I would suggest our agreement that we started October 24th would be originally matured at the end of this month, September 2025. In accordance with the aforementioned sections, I'm notifying Kinney County FI's desire to not renew our agreement. I realize notification actions in the agreement specify notifications by either party are to be sent at least 90 days prior to the agreement maturing organically, but given the very unique and fluid nature of the situation in Kinney County and the fact that no money has been exchanged, I would hope you and Mr. Smith would consider a waiver of the notification components. The 90-day notification clause was written to provide the county ample time to locate a new software vendor, but given the fact we were never installed our software, I would hope you and your court would consider a waiver required by the county. Judge Schuster, I would hope that you would agree that allowing Kinney County to find a software provider who wishes to serve the county, and more importantly, whose financial software will comply interface with a potential revised chart of accounts formatting would be the best long-term interest of the county. Thank you for your consideration of my request to no longer serve Kinney County. If you or Mr. Smith have any questions, I'd be glad to speak to you. So, like I said, I got that letter on September 25th. Brent has drafted, the county attorney has drafted a termination of contract obligation between Kinney County and Financial Intelligence and so forth. And resolved that the Commissioner's Court that due to the following ongoing terminate any further contractual obligations and waive the 90-day notice. So that is our item on the table.
Were you in contact with them during any of this stuff, or was it strictly the?
Basically no for me. I wasn't.
Why was your real guy?
He stepped in to help us while we were without an auditor.
So the
toxic environment that he speaks of pretty much deals with that all.
Yes, sir. And he's asking to waive the 90-day notice. They haven't ever set up their software anyway. They've done the mapping, but they never have set up, come down here but it was software that the previous auditor and the treasurer, it would work with our time clock. It would interface with that and work with that and everything and stuff. It was all, those two components would work together and stuff. So that's why they went and visited a couple of counties, I believe, to see this software, time clock and so forth and everything. So they kind of had a little bit of an idea when they picked this, that that's what they would like to have.
Have we explored other options?
Not yet, no, sir.
Judge, may I ask you a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there- Why would one county not be in compliance with the other 45 counties?
Well, they get stated.
I know this question, but for one county out of 45 in service to be different, that wouldn't be compatible, that would be the same as using LGF for certain offices and some off-the-wall software for another office. You want them all compatible. We all use Word, we all use whatever.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, I'm just airing compatibility. They should all be compatible. We shouldn't be an exception.
Agreed.
I have to stay on that.
All right.
Thank you.
I'll entertain a motion to approve or disapprove item O this morning.
Motion approved, we're gonna go forward.
All right, I have a motion by Commissioner Ferret, second by Commissioner Tabo. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Continue to operate under the old.
Yes, sir.
software.
Yes, sir.
We've never operated under this one. We're still,
We're hanging on by a thread with the old one. All right. Nick, come on up. Item PQ has to deal with the purchase of the ambulance. So item P this morning is discuss and accept purchase agreement avoidance letter from Professional Ambulance Sales and Service to void all prior agreements. We're going to stop this one.
So basically, one of the issues that was brought up last Commissioner's Court by the auditor was the contract we had between us and CERS was not a legal contract. So as a solution to that, I reached out to CERS, asked them if they would give us a letter resolving us of all previous contracts, making that point null and void at that point. Have the updated contract for y'all to look over, review, and if approved. The other issues she had was last year in Commissioner's Court, when we decided to move forward with the ambulance, when it comes to payment, the line item was not identified from where that payment was going to come from. So if approved today, it states in there what line item it is to be paid with. And also, there was an issue with myself signing the contract and not Judge Schuster. So if approved today, Judge Schuster will sign the contract. So that should be pretty much any issues that have been brought to our attention previously with it. Just on another note, I have contacted her about getting insurance on it before we leave. That's why it's in there that no later than the 21st of this month, she provides insurance on the vehicle. That way I can go to the tax assessor's office and get the 15-day one-way plates. And then she has authorized one of our fuel cards from the ambulance to be approved to work out of state. So that way on the drive back, we'll be able to pay for the fuel. Also, the whole payment issue we've had with it, She has agreed to, once we're up in Ohio at Fortin, before we leave, we accept the ambulance, say everything's fine with the ambulance. I'll reach out to either her or Diana, and they can, at that time, can do a wire transfer and make the payment. I provided both of them with the information to do the wire transfer, so everything that I know that could be an issue should be addressed at this point. And the issues she had with it not being a legal contract have been addressed. There's been plenty of email traffic back and forth that she's been a part of, Aaron's been a part of, and nobody's raised any issue with this plan as of now. So, any questions for me?
Well, let's just be clear and clarify. We said okay to order an ambulance last year because it's going to be 18 to 24 months. There is no contract, there's no deposit made or anything.
No.
Once the ambulance got ready, if we wanted it, we could take it. If not, they're going to sell it anyway. Because the wait line is so bad. So there was no reason to budget it in last year's budget. Because we weren't going to get it till this year's budget.
And at that time too, we were still hoping for that USDA.
Yeah. So we didn't budget. So to verify some of that is it was not going to be bought until this 26 budget. And so we ordered it. We told Nick to order it. There was no obligation on the front end of our part, no down payment or anything like that. So, and if we didn't want it when it was ready, we didn't have to take it. They would sell it. So that's what they told us. They said there's plenty of people in line. Obviously, if we're waiting over a little over 18 months to get it, so forth. So, but now we have the letter here. P is to discuss and accept the letter from SERVS, avoiding everything prior to, and then a new agreement for 419-881-32.
Yes, sir.
They're paying y'all's airfare to go and your hotel room. So we're not, the county's not out any of that. All right. So item P is I guess we'll take action to accept the purchase agreement voidness letter on item P. I'll entertain a motion to accept P this morning. So moved by Commissioner Short, second by Commissioner Thomas. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Now Q.
Did you think about the option of purchasing it through the refinancing of the detention center?
We will when it comes up. We will when it comes up. But yes, yeah. When we redo the funds and the geo stuff and everything, redo the PFC bonds and stuff, this might be one of the things.
I did pursue Mr. Bristol about that. He said it was eligible.
He talked to me a little bit the other day, a little bit more about rather make it a loan rather than a bond. And there's a lot less red tape to have to be satisfactory if we just did it. And TIDC would be interested in that as well. Just do it as a loan and to guarantee our security of the loan would be the contractual payments from GO out there.
That was my only concern, trying to, take a load off general fund and utilize that option.
And then House Bill
House Bill 3000.
Those applications will open up in January. That was passed this last legislation for rural ambulance or rural equipment for rural EMS services, the rural equipment grant. And it's up to $500,000. So therefore we'll probably apply for that and try to get another ambulance, but it could be another 18 months to 2 years out to replace another one in the fleet.
So we're looking for the balance sheet.
Yes. But that'll be with the
That
January.
would be the second one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be the second one. And then if we are approved for that, we should be good on ambulances for quite a while.
Yes. All right. So Q then, we took care of P. Q then is discuss and approve sales agreement for professional ambulance sales and services, SERVS, for the purchase of a 2025 Ford ambulance in the amount of $419,881.32 to be paid from line item 1010-5-2700-2204 out of countywide vehicles, and authorize the county judge to sign the agreement. Upon approval, request insurance coverage no later than October 21st, 2025. I entertain a motion to approve Q. So moved by Commissioner Dotson, second by Commissioner Ward. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. There you go, Becky. All right, item R. Discuss and rescind, we need to rescind our action from September 22nd that approved the nomination of candidates from Kinney County Presidential District Board of Directors and support votes to both candidates. We need to rescind that action because the letter they gave us was just a letter informing us of who the two candidates that were up for re-election or up for election were Tim Ward and Donna Schuster. But the school board has recommended someone as well. So there's actually three running for two positions going forward. So I'll entertain motion to rescind our action from September 22nd. So moved by Commissioner Dotson, seconded by Commissioner Barrett. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carried. Anybody opposed? Motion carried unanimously. We'll put Commissioner Ward stepped up. All right, so R is done. S is a resolution to approve the nomination of Tim Ward and Donna Schuster to serve as Kinney County Appraisal District Board of Directors. Regular call meeting, the resolution reads, resolution call, regular call meeting in Kinney County. The date's wrong on this one. On the 14th day of October, whereas the property tax code section 603J requires the appraisal district to deliver a ballot listing the candidate nomination board of directors by voting tax units for two positions. Whereas the duty and responsibility of the taxing units in accordance with Texas Property Tax Code 603K to cast each unit votes by resolution and submit a recorded ballot to the chief appraiser of Kinney County Appraisal District. And now therefore be it resolved that the Commissioners Court of Kinney County, Texas does hereby nominate the following candidates for two positions to be filled in the Kinney County Appraisal District Board of Directors, candidate Tim Ward and Donna Schuster for the term 2025-2026 terms. And we'll change the dates on this. All right, so moved on item S. Commissioner Dotson, Commissioner Farragut. Now, this is just who we're nominating, right? Okay, this is just our nomination. Then we'll come back for a vote. All right, all those in favor of S, resolution for those nominees on the Tax Appraisal Board, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried 4-0. Right. 4-0. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll note Commissioner Ward abstained. So that's just our two folks that were nominated. We'll come back for a vote and how we split our votes. All right, discuss and approve workers' compensation renewal forms and authorize the county judge to sign. Annual renewal for Texas Association of Counties. Just the regular stuff, nothing outstanding here, but just approve our workers' compensation program for 2026. I entertain a motion to approve it as presented. So moved by Commissioner Ward, second by Commissioner Farragut. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried unanimously. You this morning is discuss and approve the merit pay criteria for fiscal year 2025-2026, and authorize Judge Schuster to sign on behalf of Kinney County. The merit pay criteria is a merit pay increase may be granted at the discretion of Commissioners Court. Budget increase of $2,000 and $1,000 will be paid based on the following. There's no negative administration action pending on an employee. Number two, a merit increase of $2,000 will be given to Kinney County employees classified as regular full-time employees and who have retirement and health insurance. This means 32 hours or more. Number three, a merit increase of $1,000 will be given to Kinney County employees classified as regular part-time employees. This means 31 hours or less. Number four, all employees receiving a merit pay must have worked as regular full-time or regular part-time employees from October 1st, 2024 to September 30th of 2025. Number five, the merit is to be paid on November 14th, 2025. Entertain a motion to approve the merit pay as presented.
So moved.
So moved by Commissioner Matavo, second by Commissioner Ferret. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried unanimously. All right, item V this morning is discuss and approve complete the request for decision from regarding the 1095C tax forms and authorize county judge to sign. This is again the Texas Association of Counties Health and Employee Benefits Pool request for decision printing 1095C forms. Got a bunch of questions about this. We're going to call back in Miss Diane here. Well, yeah.
She said that, it's already.
Speak up. It's what?
1095 is a separate form, but it is already included on.
All right, so we're going to wish not to have the forms printed for calendar year 2025.
Says it's up to you.
If we request the printed forms to be mailed directly to the county and district, they're going to be $3 per form. Or we request the forms be mailed directly to the employees, it'll be $3 per employee plus $1.50 for postage. And I say we're opting that we're not going to do that. It's just going to be included. Beginning in the reporting year 2025, TAC will no longer print or mail 1095C forms unless we receive a written request from your county or district to do so no later than October 15th. If you wish to continue receiving printed forms, there'll be a $3 per form charge plus $1.50 per form for postage if mailing directly to recipients. Is everybody okay with that? All right, we're going to mark that box in. I'll entertain a motion that we approve not we will not mail out 1090C forms if we will comply with the above. We'll provide written notice that the full-time benefit employees eligible to let them know that printed forms will no longer be automatically provided. Provide a place on your county district website where employees can request a copy of their 1090C form. And upon receipt, you have 30 days to respond and provide the requested form. We'll continue to upload a PDF document containing all your county and district 1090C forms to your Simplicity folder for you to review and print individually as desired. Anybody have any questions on that one? I'll entertain a motion to approve that one as presented. It's a request. We do not wish to have 1095C forms printed for calendar year 2025.
So moved.
So moved by Commissioner Tavo. Second by Commissioner Ferret. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried unanimously. W this morning is discussing approved participation in County Choice Silver CCS for retirees and review option plans and authorize county judge to sign on behalf of Kinney County. This is Texas Association of Counties Retiree Medical Program, Transamerica Life Insurance Company, and Retiree RX Care 2026 renewal notice and benefit confirmation. Renew and keep our current plan is what we have marked here and is what's recommended from the treasurer. Current plan F, prescription is option 1, current medical plus prescription rate is $559.39. The new rate effective January 1 of 2026 will be $592.84. Entertain a motion to approve the county choice silver for retirees. So moved by Commissioner Dotson. Second by Commissioner Ward. Any further discussion on W? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item X this morning, discuss and approve proposal from RZ Communications for the purchase of a 30-foot, not 30 inches, 30-foot tower in the amount of $30,390.29 and use funds from the auction surplus fund 178-5-0000-0001 tower to be installed at the Peterson building. Have this on the agenda to approve to use the a one-time purchase cost out of those auction for surplus funds we talked about. And it's Commissioner Ward can talk a little bit, but they have sent a proposal here to put up a 30-foot tower, all the labor and so forth and everything for the radio tower there at the Peterson building.
This has been an ongoing proposal for the county as far as use for law enforcement. And we had proposals to go as, I guess you say, as high as a 100-foot tower. And that was $100,000. And so we even tried to pursue other vendors. And what we found was the best decision for the county would be to go with an approved Motorola contractor. In the event that there's any type of problems in the future, their equipment will be on it, and we didn't want there to be any kind of future problem with regards to problems with the antennas placed on it and or the tower itself. So it's been there's quite a few people that have been involved in it from Motorola, and then this RC is their representative that installs towers and does other work as well. The location on the east wall of the Peterson building and the conduit to channel all of the fiber optics has already been put in place in the building. And what it'll do, it'll facilitate the movement of any type of replacements, wiring in the future. I know they're upgrading all the time. And as far as the IT room, we've almost completed it. And they're anxious, Motorola is, to finish the 911 contract, which involves the replacement of their equipment. And so I believe Chad has ordered some racks for the equipment, similar to what's in the computer room here, the IT room here. And so we want to try to get this done as soon as possible so that we can close out the grant. And what will be involved will be in the IT room. We'll just touch on this a little bit. It's a decision we're going to have to make pretty quick, but it will have to be air conditioned separate from the rest of the building because it needs to be maintained at a lower temperature, like 70 degrees. all the time. The balance of that center section, it contains the dispatch and the IT room and, one office, and the 2 restrooms. And we need to consider air conditioning that entire center section separately from the rest of the building, since it will be used 24/7. It would be probably, very efficient for us to consider air conditioning and heating that section separate. And that can come later, but I wanted to give you kind of a general overview of what has been the delay in getting the tower actually selected and to get a price and to get it installed. And they're wanting to install it ASAP. In fact, over the weekend, Mr. Fuente, who is the rep from RC, was asking, is it approved? Is it approved? And I said, well, as soon as it is, I'll send you a text. But they want to close out the grant, and that is for the 9-county region.
Through the cog grant.
Yeah. And so, any questions on that? It's been reviewed over and over and over, and it seems to be Chad has signed on to what, we've selected here, and so that's kind of the report I have.
Okay. Any other questions?
I have a question, Judge. Hey, Mr. Ward, is there any drop drawings that include the whole setup of the tower, the provided package?
Yeah, blueprints of the drawings of the tower and the package.
Yeah, they have the line, everything.
Yeah, they have the blueprints. Yeah, and they've worked with our architect as well. What is involved is, which will be close to it, will be a handicap ramp. So we've kind of coordinated the location of the tower, and it does have a pretty massive concrete base that's buried, of course, for the most part. And so we wanted to make sure we weren't conflicting with any future use, as well as conflicting with accessibility to the handicap. So, yeah, they're on.
All right.
So we don't know.
Motion made by Commissioner Dotson, second by Commissioner Barrett on item X. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Now, item Y this morning is discuss and approve refund request from James Hamlin in the amount of $384.69 in the vehicle registration expenses related to Kinney County Sheriff's auction on May 13th of 2023. Refund to be paid from auction surplus fund 178-5-0000-0001. As you know, we had a couple of these that we had to deal with from those earlier auctions. And this gentleman's come in and provided the information of which his registration and everything and so forth and stuff. But he was not able to complete it. The transfer at the time of sale due to incorrect paperwork given to me and release of lien was not provided at the auction for the out-of-state vehicle. And inspection was also required by auto theft inspector. It caused delays and penalties to add up. It was a requirement for Texas Department of Motor Vehicles to apply for a bonded title to complete this transfer. So he's asking to be refunded $384.69. I'll entertain a motion to approve that. So moved by Commissioner Ward, second by Commissioner Ferris. Any further discussion on the refund? In the amount of $384.69. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Z this morning is information and discussion only, review and updates on policy and procedure requirements for grant administration and management. That'll be Ms. Hobbs and Ms. Gutierrez.
Good morning.
Morning. She's gonna need a TV.
We're gonna start with. Those.
All right, the handout you just received is for item Z. Secretary, review and updates on policies and procedure requirements for grant administration and management.
Correct, yes, sir. Good morning. So Mrs. Hobbs and I attended the TAC grant writing workshop, mainly focusing on grant-related, federal grant-related policies and procedures. So we just want you to be aware that they shared that some of these policies need to be in place as we handle federal funding. There's the PII, Personally Identifiable Information Policy and Procedures. So what we gave you is just a definition and then the requirement for why they recommend that these policies be in place. So there's the PII, there's the debarment and suspension policy, there's a sub-award policy, the travel policy adhering to federal travel regulations, the whistleblower policy, grant management policies and procedures, and a time and effort policy. So we wanted you to be aware of this. Not sure who takes care of our Kinney County policies and procedures. I know that we've brought a couple before that were required for a certain grant, and we just made those happen. And I believe we had asked Ms. Donita and Ms. Diane if they could include them in the handbook or whatever they needed to do. So we wanted to share these with you. Any questions?
So we need to look at adopting some policies
Yes, sir.
that address these
In case of an
for
audit
federal grants,
on federal funding,
federal funding grants. Good.
yes, sir. And we just have a definition and the requirement. The guidance, the federal
Is
guidance.
this tax recommended that how we
These are
have
all
it? Just
tax,
what needs, is this how, is TAC recommending that this is how the policy be written?
no, sir.
Or this is what they need to entail?
Yes.
Okay.
And what they are and what the requirement is. But TAC did not give us exact wording for
Okay.
the policies, no. And they might have it. We just did not look into those. So this was for information.
Okay. All right. We'll look into that and work on collaboratively as a team, work on and maybe see what TAC can provide as a somewhat of a guide, but grant. But that's
Who normally takes care of policies.
well, kind of whatever department it
Okay.
has. I mean, it needs to go to HR, obviously, to get in our handbook or whatever and stuff,
Okay.
but if it's gonna be dealing with those funds and monies, I would think that between the auditor and the treasurer and a team would collaboratively come up with,
Yes, sir.
and hopefully TAC would have some sort of pretty balanced and thorough guide where we could say, you know, work on that for us. All right, item AA this morning's information discussion. Review the Kinney County plans currently in place and necessary annual reviews to keep plans current and renewable.
So in that same packet, if you'll just flip the page to the beginning of the packet, is the Kinney County plans and reviews.
These are the current plans that have been approved by you, the commissioners.
Okay.
So as you can see, there's the cybersecurity plan, the hazard mitigation plan, our LEPC plan, and the Emergency Operations Plan. All four of those have been, all four of those have been completed and approved. They all have the type of information in them that is living. It needs to be updated. It needs to be reviewed. It needs to be looked at annually to make sure that if we've, for instance, in the hazard mitigation plan, if we have completed one of the action items that's in there, then we don't need it anymore. We need to remove that and maybe add another one, something else that's come up that would be beneficial to the county to add to it. We need to do that. So we were hoping that because we have all put a lot of work into these plans and we've received lots of funding to make them happen, we would like to try to schedule a time annually where we go through each one of them and with a committee and make sure that if there's something that needs to be updated, that we get it updated and get them current. And we need to have a document that records what was changed, the date it was changed, the committee that changed it, so forth and so on. So we're hoping that maybe in October or November of every year that can get put on a calendar that we remember to do that annually and keep these updated. For instance, the hazard mitigation has that 5-year period and then it's up for renewal. So, but if we keep it up to date and go through that every year, we'll be ready for the 5th year.
Get in what we got in.
Do those updates have to be sent off and approved?
Yes, sir, every 5 years. But,
Not every year,
right. not every-
but every 5 years.
But the state of Texas does recommend an annual update. And with the multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation plan, which is what we have to involve the city of Spofford, the city of Brackettville, Fort Clark, Mud, and Brackett ISD. So somebody needs to go before their boards and say, okay, so what have we done? What have you done? How can we update this? How can we help you? And so that come year 4.5, we're not scrambling trying to update a hazard mitigation plan that involves it. If we do it annually, then we're keeping up with it. We were hoping that we could hire someone who would keep up with our plans because there's a lot that it entails, but we understand the budget. So we're gonna
Yeah.
have to work together to do this collaboratively.
The importance is, this would have to be updated in order to prove our eligibility for grants.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Right?
And
exactly.
And the updates occur through collaboration. So it's a matter of calling the LEPC together,
Right.
all of that. So,
Cybersecurity IT team,
yes.
Mhm.
hazard mitigation team, LAPC team. I mean, you got, the committees are kind of formed already,
And LEPC and hazard mitigation
pretty much.
pretty much go together. So
We work together on that.
we did. We collaborated the whole time on both of those at the same time.
So there's some ones that are going to see that this happens annually. Is it gonna be on? Okay. I mean, the question was posed and wanting to have exposure on who.
Right.
I might also add, the same discussion can be about our employee handbook. It's very convoluted. There's places that need to be updated. There's places that aren't updated.
So true.
And throw
There's-
that into the mix.
There's places that things have been added that are not there.
Right.
That have been approved over the years by the court that haven't gotten put in it.
And if we have someone that could just work on those items, that'd be great. But
Yeah.
All right. No signal
No,
jobs.
that sounds, so that was for information and just to put it out on the calendar. We need to keep up with these ones. All right.
So that takes care of A. This is AB, grant updates, still forth.
So October 2025 marks our 5-year anniversary as Kinney County grant writers, administrators. So we thought it was appropriate. Yes, time does fly, right? We thought it was appropriate to just demonstrate a little presentation on the services that we have provided during the past 5 years. The information in this PowerPoint is not any news to you as commissioners, as a judge, but it is important for our community to know. Okay, so if you all want to look at the PowerPoint.
We need to. This month, since it's October, are we current?
We are current.
We are
Okay.
current. Yeah, this is current.
So if anybody wants to move up and come and join us. Yes, that'd be great.
So this is, these numbers are from 2020, when we were hired, to 2025. So today, our total awarded grant funding is $4,269,084.91. That is a lot.
Good job.
Thank you.
So the next is grant duties. What all happens with grants? So we have the annual certification that we have to go to every year. Procurements. Requests for proposals. Requests for qualifications, professionals, architects, engineers, that kind of stuff. Researching, trying to find grants that are available. What information is needed? General assessments, posting on the sites, the online sites that every grant platform has. Public hearings and public notices, those are very important with grant funding. Progress reporting, that's either semi-annually, quarterly, they all have it. Purchase orders and financial reporting as well, all of that's involved with grant administration. Development of interlocal agreements and contracts. Checking for SAM clearance, making sure it's someone we can do business with. Environmental assessments, we never thought we'd be doing that for sure, but it's amazing what you learn with all this. Amendments in case we need changes. Closeouts with, and they have to be inspected. And then there's also record keeping. We have to keep a copy of everything, and it has to be on premises at Kinney County, not where we typically work from. Because they can show up and say, I need to see this grant from 5 years ago, and where's your documentation? I don't know about this. Other duties for Kinney County grant writers, we develop and submit appropriations requests. We did that for 4 years now with Tony Gonzalez's office. Worked with architects, Powell, Gondact, and Guard on RFPs and RFQs for the jail projects. We've kind of gone from having one out at the detention center to the one here downtown. Flood mitigation planning, studies, presenting at board meetings and hosting of workshops. Collaboration on the FME to submit to Region 15. Update for SAM.gov accounts for Kinney County. Architect assistance with splash pad duties, coordinated pool repairs, act as labor standard officers for TDA construction projects. We've done the low to moderate income survey, presented and established grant required policies and procedures. Attendance at conferences, meetings such as TDA and grant workshops. That's for THERA. TDM, NRA, pipeline, trainings, and Water Development Board, BAS Census, community investment webinars, and Region 15 flood mitigation. Established committees such as brick, street improvements, baseball for the Parks and Wildlife, and then broadband. So needless to say, our 20 hours a week get eaten up pretty quickly. And
You don't
maybe,
want us to clock in.
yeah, I'm not sure that you want us to clock in.
So this next page has the agency, the award, the match that was required, the administrative fees, had you procured a grant writer and administrator, and then the fees that we recaptured from each grant. So total. Okay.
So this being the money that is an indirect cost that's part of the grant that we bill for. We bill the grant for it and it comes back to the county. So this is monies that help offset our salary, I guess is what you would say. This is what you would have paid for these grants had we not been hired. Is the 467,000.
And 1 million is what it has cost the county to bring in the different
Right.
grant.
This is the awarded amount, and this is what you've paid as the county. So that's a pretty good return on your funds.
Yeah, it really is. I think at this point we need to, make it well known, of the good job you all have done, and we appreciate it very much. And in 5 years, it's a while ago, it's gone by quickly.
Quickly,
But a
very
whole lot has
quickly.
happened as well in that time period.
Mhm.
And we can only look forward to the next 5 years. And hopefully it'll be just as productive. So
Hopefully.
thank y'all very
Yes,
much.
hopefully. Well, just what a blessing for our community that this has been. We have really done some wonderful things for the whole county.
And I do want to point out, okay, just to go back.
Yeah, let me go back to it.
We didn't add any administrative fees on any of the grants for the nutrition center. Although we assisted with CBET, she is the one that administers those grants. So we're not even adding any administrative fees there. So then we rolled it over to the next slide. You'll see those numbers at the top under totals. And then before we were hired as grant writers, we brought in these grants, these awards.
And this is their
That's those
totals.
totals. That's what you paid, and that's what you paid us when you procured us. And so then we just brought in the grand totals at 5 million is the grand total. And so we just wanted to point out that $60,000 combined salaries over the past 5 years is 300,000. We have recaptured 154,000 of those 300,000. That would decrease the salary cost to 145 over 5 years, which is like saying Candy got 14,000, I got 14,000 for a total of 29 annual. That is 6% of the total procurement of a grant administrator. And it's not even 1% of the total grant amount secured. Saving Kinney County 322,000 665.44 in grant administration. And Mrs. Hobbs had this on a spreadsheet, and so we tried to send it to the printer. We couldn't, but we have it for you. Okay, you have these documents. Good.
So we're just happy that this has all been a wonderful thing for the county and the citizens. That's what our goal was, just to do what we could for the community. So over these 5 years, these are the annual amounts. We just pulled them out and subtotaled them by year. So in 2020, we were awarded the 423,000. In 21, 1.4. 22, 560,000. 23 was 584, and then 24 it was 1.15. So because we all know that grants don't happen quickly, and you get a grant in 2020, well, you might still be working on it in 2023. And definitely these, the generator project was a 2021 grant. We are still working on that, trying to get that going. And so it takes a while, and they all add up. And so it's just a lot to keep track of and make sure that we are keeping all the documents that need to be kept track of. So this is the same thing that we had in the spreadsheet. It just shows the award amounts, the match amounts, just to give you a little visual of the amounts and which ones make the most difference. So, what we've been awarded is an amazing number. It's just wonderful, wonderful county. These are some of the things that we have added as assets to Kinney County. We now have a broadband plan. We've had road improvements, mental health through the Hope Center, LEPC plan, baseball park, meals for elderly, the approach at the fire station that we got with the LCRA funding, library, ADA, library entrance, cybersecurity plan, firefighting equipment, commodity flow study, booster station, street improvements, splash pad, colonia assessments, food pantry items, tanker truck, generators, UTV, digital equity, track loader. So there's a lot of things that Kinney County has gained. And so we say, yes, we wrote the grants, but y'all gave us the opportunity. And we thank you for your vision of knowing that these kind of things could be added as assets for Kinney County because of y'all as well. And we appreciate you and the work that you do. So just a reminder, we write and manage grants for Kinney County because we love our community and we enjoy helping where we can. We do not make any money off the grants secured for Kinney County as we are employees. So like we said, the money that we bill the grant comes back to the county. It doesn't come to us. We're not getting a percentage. I think some people may have had the impression that we were getting paid by the county and we were getting money from the grants. And no, we don't. It doesn't work like that. If the grant allows for administrative fees, we recapture those fees for Kinney County General Fund. And it goes directly into the fund. Questions?
Thank y'all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank y'all. We just hope that the community is aware and that they are, they know that wonderful things are happening.
And we might not be up here like telling you every time we're sending out a payment request or things like that, but just know we're working. We are working hard. Thank y'all.
Thank y'all. All right, we do have an addendum to the agenda this morning. We'll take care of it also this morning. The addendum is Discuss and approve a motion to amend the sheriff's department budget for employee pay raises not included in the previously adopted budget for 25-26. Ms. Gutierrez just brought this over to the office the other day. And it has to deal with, increases in salaries of $923 that were missed and not appropriated in the adopted budget. The total increase, and it's all in salaries. Retirement, jailer dispatcher, an open position, a jailer dispatcher, an open position, a jailer dispatcher, a deputy, and FICA costs. And the difference is an increase of $7,141. So this is a budget amendment request in the, from the treasurer's office in the, for the sheriff's department.
So this is what, like a 3%?
I have no idea. What would this be, Becky? Do you know?
What was the question?
Is this the 3%?
Yes, so, it's not understanding the amounts does not include the 3%.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is, at 3%. When I did the math up there. Yeah, it's at 3%. They were overlooked for a 3%. Yeah, they didn't get the 3%. And it has to deal with seven actual employees, retirement benefits, and FICA benefits.
So do we actually have people in those two open positions?
No,
Really?
they're vacant. Yeah, but then they got an increase over here.
Yeah. There's a mission for sorry, now.
Yeah, how are we reading that, Becky? Is that they're saying that there's a decrease in that? To offset this? So they're taking it from there to, they're taking it out of retirement funds, but then they're adding it back up there.
Yeah, that's
Go verify that. Go ask her to come back in here. Let's, like, Ms. Gutierrez back in here on that one. Let's go ahead and approve the minutes as presented. You have 3 sets of minutes there for you today. September the 8th, September 22nd, September 29th. We'll do September the 8th first.
Motion to approve the minutes of September 8th, 2025.
Motion from Commissioner Barrett, second from Commissioner Montalvo to approve September the 8th as presented. All right, all those in favor of approving September 8th minutes as presented, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. September 22nd, special meeting. Twenty-second, run a special meeting, it's a regular.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dotson, second by Commissioner Ward to approve September 22nd minutes. All right, and then special meeting on the 29th. Entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved.
Commissioner Tavo, second by Commissioner Barrett. All those in favor say aye. Oh, we never voted on September 22nd, did we? All those in favor of approving September 22nd, motion was by Commissioner Dotson, seconded by Commissioner Ward. All those in favor of September 22nd minutes, regular meeting? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign, motion carried. And then we've already voted on September 29th. Sorry about that. All right, that'll take care of that. Approve the bills as presented. What do you got? Huh? I know.
Oh.
We'll get to him. Approve the bills as presented. What? None for the detention center, so. Item 6, there's none for there. Item 7 is claim. Approve all claims, bills, including payroll for Kinney County budget 2025, 2026.
Judge, is, the cybersecurity training that, we paid Michael Means for on there, because we have to close that, right? That's what we're doing on. And you turn it in with the other. It is? Okay, thank you.
All right, a motion by Commissioner Doxson and a second by Commissioner Fair. Pay the bills as presented. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Noting that Commissioner Ward abstains from his payment and Commissioner Doxson, please. All right. Otis, elevator, come on up.
Morning, Joe.
Morning. Speak into that microphone. Some of my guys up here like to hear you.
Good.
All right.
All right. Well, my name is Frank Brown. I represent Otis Elevator, one of the oldest elevator companies in the world. Actually originally started in Connecticut. So from there, we have grown within over 150, 60 years now in the elevator industry. So we service currently, obviously, San Antonio, a lot of locations in Texas, but we have locations in Del Rio. So my mechanic, we pay very well, drives from San Antonio all the way to Del Rio, missing opportunities like the beautiful city, the Hondo, and the But nevertheless, so I came out here, did a actual survey of the elevator, and from what I find is that number one is that the elevator is originally installed in 1973. It's gone to a situation where there are parts no longer available for that elevator. Okay, in fact, you could probably charge a quarter for have people look at it as a museum piece. So nevertheless, mechanics are trained to repair that existing elevator right now. And currently, based on what I've seen and inspected, there's two priority things. Number one is what we call the OptiGuard, which is the door edge of the elevator door, which means when the elevator door opens and someone walks in, that elevator recognizes that there's somebody else who doesn't close. Unfortunately, that elevator does not do that. It actually knocked me towards the wall. So I start to think about a little kid, an elderly person walking in there. That elevator doesn't even go back when you try to push it back. It wants to continue to want to close. So that was one of the proposals that I made that for you to kind of look at. The second thing is the emergency phone in that elevator doesn't work. Okay, that's one of the state compliance issues that you must have in that elevator. And based on the last inspection, it's not worked since 2002. So what needs to happen is when we take over the elevator, we program the elevator, the phone itself, to call out emergency contact number. But speaking with Samantha, that we need to reach out to, I'm assuming it's AT&T, the phone company. They need to come out here and make sure there's a dial tone going into that elevator box. So the other discussion we had is once we program that phone, the dial tone, that we would have it contact the police department in case of an entrapment, since there's always somebody there. And sometimes I've been told there's people here in the weekend working. And we certainly don't want them to get them entrapped inside that elevator, especially if the emergency phone's not working. Yes, people have phones today, but sometimes you might run into that situation where you don't bring it with you to the courthouse. And you get entrapped, and they're going to have to be, I'm assuming, shouting very loudly in order to hear somebody that's in there. So on top of that, we're going to provide preventive maintenance for the elevator, where we're going to check the oil, making sure that it's within still the requirement codes, change it out if need be. We're going to do the preventive maintenance on the packing, which is underneath the elevator, it shoots the piston.
up, pushes the elevator to the second floor and brings it down. I've already inspected that. It looks good. There's small, tiny bits of oil in there, but that's standard when you think about a rubber gasket. But it's not overflowing and falling into the floor. So these are the things that we will certainly be inspecting in the elevator. And on that note too, is we will provide the yearly inspections and have to be done per state requirements. We provide the man hours, the men to come out here, it's 2 men. Complete that elevator safety inspection in front of the state inspector of your choosing or someone that we assign. So the only out expense pocket out of you would be the cost of the inspector, and the $25 certificate fee to show that you're within compliance with the state. Okay. So with that, on top of that, any service issues, we have a simple process in place. It's our e-service line. It's a computer app that we can log in the computer and see the work the mechanic has done in the elevator when he shows up. Any other work that you requested can be done on through e-service, or you can call a 1-800 dispatch number. We'll dispatch a mechanic to come out here to service if the elevator is down. Now, the standard hours of our work is Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. So any work after that or in the weekends is what we call overtime hours. Our union mechanics, they have well over 5+ years of experience. Mike Jaworski is the supervisor of all the mechanics, 30+ years in this business in the elevator industry. So you're certainly going to have, transparency with us. Any information you want to find, there's plenty of point of contacts besides myself. And then one of my assistants, the account manager, who will be monitoring and managing your account, who will handle any billing invoices, any setting up schedules for the yearly inspections. And then, of course, you have tenure mechanics that will come in and be working on the elevators when any type of service needed, or when we come out and do the preventive maintenance on these elevators to keep it running. Any questions with that? Myself?
The current estimate for repairs is $6,206.76.
That is for the actual OptiGuard door edge. That is correct.
That's to get it up and get it going. That's
I wouldn't say get it going. It's running. It's just to keep the door from someone injuring somebody walking into that elevator. Because it's been written on the state inspection since 2016 that that door needs to be adjusted. Now, when I talked to Mike Jaworski, my 10-year supervisor, he would first prefer to come and take a look to see maybe there's an adjustment that needs to happen. But I have to believe that the person that was maintaining it before would have done that. But if maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But if that's not the case, then this would be the option to make certain that that door edge, the elevator door, is safe, and also, keeping the courthouse in a situation they don't want to be in, so it's hurt. I'm 220 pounds. That thing moved me over.
the phone line was working. And then we lost all our copper lines. So we got to put a switch in to make it work off our
Okay.
internet. So that's.
Okay. So you
I
have.
talked to the IT guy about that already. He said,
Okay.
no,
Good.
when they did away with copper line
Yep.
and end of August,
Yep.
whatever, AT&T, that was a
AT&T,
copper line
they no
service.
longer offer it anymore.
So we got a little converter deal to where to feed into and read into the
Good.
electronic stuff.
Good.
But now, you're willing to do the service and repair, but you'd like for us to enter into a 5-year contract.
With preventive maintenance, so we can come out here and making certain that your elevator is meeting the specifications that elevator should be running, and also that you'll have a point of contact when the elevator goes down. And the man hours, which the 2025 approved hours are $510 an hour, will be included in that maintenance package right there.
For the 150 mark.
That's correct. That's correct.
I would have-
Paid annually at 150.
Now, it's a county though, we can't enter into, we'll have to put a rider in the front of this, that we can't enter into anything longer than an annual contract.
Okay.
And our rider would,
Well, it'll be subject to approval every year.
yeah, subject, yeah.
Okay.
County. Now, the other issue that we're gonna have is like, on here, you're saying the price is based on 100% down payment and the amount of, legally, we're not supposed to pay until services are rendered.
Okay.
As a county entity, as a government entity. So we could approve the proposal, and then upon completion of it, we could submit the invoice to be paid any additional charges if there's something that comes up during the meantime while we're working on it. You know, say, hey, Judge, while we're here,
Right.
you know, we need to, let's go ahead and knock this out too, or fix this. This is, you know, kind of a concern or something.
Okay, good.
Those are two things right off the bat that I'm like, or go against our state statutes.
Understood.
So forth.
And that's something that I would certainly share. We've done with other towns before and such. My thing is always trying to show the best price with the 5-year agreement. You know, so in my special provision, section page 7, it states on it, anything less than 5 years, price will go up a little bit. So because of the fact that yearly, based on the cost of the elevators, anything that we have to repair, which is minor parts, certainly will exceed the cost of what you're paying yearly for us. So we look at it as more of a long-term relationship and such. So we can adjust
Enter
that
into
to
an
year.
agreement for 5 years. It just has to be renewed every year.
Correct.
Commissioners.
Correct.
So it's not like that we have to have a contract every year. It's just, it has to be approved because each budget is
Okay.
1 year.
Yeah, we can have a 5-year. They just put, we agree to this, they just put a.
Gotcha.
a
Renewal
right
of every year for
on it.
5 years. I can change
We
the
enter
language.
this in a 5-year, but it'll be upon annual renewal of our budget, adopted budget, that we can afford, you know, we have money to pay for this.
Mhm.
And so.
And what I can do is send you a rider where it kind of addresses all these, so you don't have to revise your contract. It'll just be a rider we add to.
Okay, can do that. That sounds good.
And I can send that to Sam and she can send it to you.
Okay. And then also an explanation on we pay after services are rendered,
Yes,
something.
30 days, 30 days after.
Okay. Okay, so the process of what we have is when we order the parts and such, and if you were already an existing client, I think signing the agreement will help me get that approved faster through my general manager and his boss. Because the process is that we order parts, we like to have the stuff paid for in advance, because sometimes people tend to get coping, you know, or buildings being sold to someone, you know, so. Questions on anything else? Pretty self-explanatory, you can read through it and such. Okay, so, you know, our goal is to obviously have a long-term relationship. Right after this, I'm going to the Dick Hall building meeting, which no one knew they had an elevator in there, but the individual in there. So I'm gonna go survey their elevator and see if we can kind of bring them on into our Otis family as well.
Commissioners?
You should already currently have Bill Rue.
Yes, we do. PNC Bank, it's on here right now. And looking to obviously pick up some of the hotels that are individually owned. I'm working with Doug right now from Hondo on getting a proposal done for 2 modernization elevators for them, and also hopefully paid up their agreement for the 7 total elevators. So we would like to see that 4-door pickup there for us here. But we do have a main office and warehouse with parts in San Antonio, Texas. We can get any part within 24 hours out of our main office in Connecticut. I have another warehouse in Austin. We have plenty of the manpower, which is what I run into a lot of times, people saying that we don't have transparency or they don't have the manpower. Well, we have both, because I can pull mechanics from Austin if need be to cover, as well as we do San Antonio to Austin as well. So we always have that. If the unit goes down, you know, then obviously we're gonna send out, we call it in, we send out a mechanic. You know, we like to tell people it's a 2-hour turnaround time frame, but it is 2 hours just to get here. But at least know we'll always be next day available, first available the next day. Maybe they can't come out that same day. Okay. And then after hours, it's within the 4 to 5 hour window time frame. But like I mentioned, it's not a hotel. It's not open all day. So you certainly would want to wait till the next day where there's no additional charges for bringing it out. Now, when we get to the point, let's say a year, 2 years, or, you know, depending on that unit, because that's a workhorse, that thing will run for years and should have 1973. But if it comes to a part where we can no longer get the part for one of the mechanic pieces in there, then we will obviously propose a modernization of the elevator. We'll come in and modernize the computer system of that elevator, replace all the buttons on the door and inside the elevator itself. That'll get you good for another years to come as well. It's not replacing the entire elevator box and such, or the cosmetics of the elevator. But I know there's a couple of light bulbs that are gonna have to be replaced as well inside the elevator.
All of that's included in your.
Of maintaining it, but replacing the bulbs and stuff, and some of the things that have already been marked up will be additional costs for that.
Over and above what you quoted.
That's correct. I'm just giving you the main cost of the door edge, which is important. And then the maintenance of maintaining the elevator, any minor parts are going out with that elevator that will be covered. Any major parts, and let me step back. We have plans that will cover the whole unit 100%, but you have an elevator that does not have parts no longer being made. I don't want to charge you for something that will not be covered. So I'm putting you on what I call our good plan that will allow us to run and maintain that elevator as it should and be on top of providing the service that you need. But when a major part goes out, then we'll have a discussion of, we're going to go to a third party and see if we can get it built or fixed. If not, then here's option B, which is replacing that computer up to date, newer parts. We'll come up here, I'll bring a mechanic, I'll bring a modernization expert to speak into more details into that for you. So you'll have all that support that you need to make sure that that elevator is in compliance with the state of Texas.
Are you willing to work on the weekends, so not to disrupt the activity of the courthouse so much, or is that?
We can work in the, it is extra, yes, sir, Jeff. We can work in the weekends. That's an option. We can work after 4 o'clock. But when you think about in the area, they'll close it off for safety purposes. You know, the room is next to the elevator, so that means it's easy work and easy access to that, maintaining that elevator, repairing it. But it is an option. If we feel like that's something we can do, we can certainly discuss that option and give you a proposal for that and what that would look like.
It's off the guard required by the state.
It is for safety, yes, sir. It's been written since 2016 into the inspection. I don't know if you've been fined or what's happened from there on, but we started, I think, ultimately at the end, nobody's gotten hurt yet at this time. We just want to make sure that this is presented to you and make a decision to do this more for peace of mind and safety. But number one thing is get us in the maintenance agreement to come in and start servicing the elevator, making sure that
The proposed,
I don't have a modification on modernizing that elevator at this time. No, but we can always put one together, and I'm gonna want to give an estimate, but it would be more than that
but
amount.
the proposal that he's giving us is the down payment is due in full.
Right.
So that'd be our only
Right,
$6,200 estimate cost right now to repair the door sensor bill and stuff, but that's our only, that's not gonna work for us.
right. So I'm gonna go back and, like I said, when I get the email and stuff, we'll work with my team to get that resolved, and then I can
And then
respond.
the rider over this, that we can do a 5-year, but it's subject to us renewing it annually
Correct.
per our budget funds.
Okay.
So forth.
Understood.
That can be addressed.
Okay.
But we can approve it pending, subject to the 30-day pay after job.
Okay. So
And then this being the rider presented on this, be presented. So,
okay.
and y'all work out, yeah, your guys from the county attorney can resolve those issues in writing. Accordingly.
Got it. Absolutely.
Everybody good with that? All right, so item G this morning is approved Otis elevator maintenance and service contract and authorize county judge to sign it with the rider attachment from the county attorney's office for approval on that. So I'll entertain a motion to do that. So moved by Commissioner Ward, second by Commissioner Fair. So that'll be enter into the maintenance agreement and service contract with Otis and authorize the judge to sign pending rider from the county attorney's office for the 5-year approval subject to annual renewal. All right, all those in favor of that motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried unanimously, 5-0. So that'll take care of that part.
Okay.
Now the contract part to do the service right now, repair is item H is Otis service and repair proposal in the amount of $6,206.76 for the purchase and installation of OptiGuard Shield 2D entrance protection device for the courthouse elevator. And like I say, we have that proposal here. How long of a project is that if there's no major?
Right, I've been
Full
told
day,
it's full day.
full day, basically.
Yep.
Okay.
Do you have a type of warranty on the work or the parts that are installed?
Yes, well, warranty on the actual parts themselves for a year.
Even if they have to be built or third party?
Yeah, they'll, if they're built to a third party, they're either within a 90-day or 12 months warranty. We'll always come out and repair and service it. Absolutely.
This AHJ inspection. The above mentioned proposal often requires an AHJ inspection or permit to be pulled for the completion of the project. This inspection lead time can range from 1 to 3 weeks, depending on your local jurisdiction. What are we referring to there?
Just like your normal inspection of, want to do work in a building, or it's an example of a home. So that was that usually doesn't take that long to get that established on that.
That doesn't mean our elevator will be down.
No,
Once y'all completed, they can still be functional and using it. We're just waiting on this.
that's it.
Okay.
That's it. Oh yeah, no, we'll have it running. The process on once it's approved and we come back saying you're good, we start the work. It's usually about 10 days out, we start scheduling it and we're gonna come out. We've already showed up and maintained and done our normal survey and verify how everything else is operating and working. I create another list to say this is down the line or just kind of keep this in front of you. But once we schedule that, they'll come out and get that bridge installed.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions about the current estimate for repairs to the elevator? All right, entertain a motion to approve item H, repair proposal of $6,206.76 for the purchase and installation of the OptiGuard Shield 2D entrance protection device for the courthouse elevator. But with the understanding that it'll be a 30-day payment upon completion of the job.
Okay, that's an appeal, Judge, or?
We'll do a PO, send y'all PO stuff, but then there'll be 30 upon the complete, no prepayment, basically.
Understood.
Okay. PO number. No prepayment. All right, entertain a motion for that. Commissioner Parrott,
Second.
Commissioner Montalvo. Any further discussion or questions for Otis elevator?
Reassign the line item that the contract can be purchased under.
Or just do it under building or general, the general funds, building maintenance.
Okay.
Courthouse, I mean, we don't have a necessarily courthouse maintenance, we just have general funds, so general funds. All right, and the motion is to approve item H as presented with the understanding of 30-day payment upon completion of the job and assigning a PO number. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried unanimously. All right,
Sir,
we'll work on getting that taken care of. Thank you, sir.
go around. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be in touch. And you have my card, my email. All right.
Elevator clerk. Yeah, elevator clerk. Yeah, stuck in there. All right, with that being said, we'll recess. What? They're going to executive session, talk to us about computer stuff, technology stuff. Yes, sir, we'll recess at 11:26. Going to executive session, discuss on the agenda items C, amending the budget, and item C,
Executive session.
in the item in, the discussion of that, you have CNN executive session. So we'll go right to executive session. Personnel matters, closed meeting pursuant to 551.074, government code in order to discuss personnel matters and item AD. Close the executive closed session, the meeting of personnel pursuant to 51, any other matters of report described on the agenda. Thank you.